Since you were 6, that must be terrifying. Can you remember what happened the first day? Something unusual occurred?
I do remember. I came out of my bedroom in Scotland, in Edinburgh, and there was a little dog there, but it wasn't a dog, it was a ghost. And, of course, back then, when you're 6 years old, you don't think, oh, that's a ghost. You just think, that's unusual.
How do you know it was a ghost? What happened?
Because I put my hand through it, and it disappeared.
What sort of dog was it?
It was just a small black dog, and then it came alongside me, and we wandered to the corner of the stairs. I was always scared of the corner of the stairs. There's always this bit where it just sort of jumped over it. And actually, I was on the text with my mum last night saying, oh, look out for me on telly tomorrow. And she said, I did think you were a bit strange on the stairs.
I was going to ask you about your mum. Did you tell your mum? Did you tell any of the family? Was there any of this in the family?
My mum, no. This is the thing, because usually it comes through the generation.
Yeah, someone will go, your great-grandma Edie used to do that,
Just to read the tea leaves, but nothing. But she did say, you know, you were just a bit odd. When you're going up the stairs, I'd always dash past this particular area. And she's actually been very open to it, as has my husband, who's a science man.
So as you got older,
yeah.
did the frequency and the intensity of these occurrences increase?
So as I got older, I started to fully channel voices.
Right.
And
what does that mean?
I have to say, this is all accidental.
Right.
I don't set out to channel. So the first experience happened, I was stood in a bar and I turned to a friend and I said, your dad wants you to call your aunt. And she was completely silent. She said, my dad is dead.
OK, did she then leave the bar? She was like, oh, Stacey!
She said, bye, Stacey, never want to see you again.
No, what's this voice like? Is it like, does it sound like your own voice? Does it sound aggressive? Does it sound kind? And does it happen at any time?
The voice is very different to the inner critic, or the inner voice, as we call it. So that voice that nags you, oh, don't eat that, don't do that, go for a run, oh, no, don't go for a run, that one. It's very different to that. It's much, much louder and much, much more forceful. And so it will come in. And apparently you can learn how to tune this in and out.
Right.
I'm not there yet.
Right.
So that voice, I first heard that full voice, spirit voice, when I was about 30.
I mean, you must have freaked out.
Yes.
I know I would.
It's awful. It has been awful, and it's been very upsetting and quite emotional. Just because you think you're going slightly bonkers, you think, OK, I've just delivered this message to this person.
And do you feel you have to deliver the message?
I'm not delivering it.
OK.
So I'm stood like I'm 3 feet away from my body, and the voice, it just comes through me, and I say, your dad wants to call you to call your aunt.
And it's almost like the next thing you know, you've just said that, and then you're watching people.
Exactly. So, you know, when you're in a conversation, you kind of know what you're about to say. Well, you're in free flow. But this, it's almost as if I've been hijacked.
But what about the manifestations? Do you see ghosts as well, like you saw the little dog?
I see energy and I can feel energy.
Right.
And
what do you mean see energy, though?
OK,
is it like
so
wavy lines?
It's like being at a disco. No. So, like last July, I went to Scotland and I stayed in this house. It was very spooky. And I didn't sleep for 4 nights. And I turned off the light and my eyes were just ping, and lots of kind of little strobing lights and things, but it can be different every time.
But you've now decided that you actually do want to find out about this.
Since last September.
Right.
What happened in September?
OK. So last September, I was in a kind of a business meeting with a colleague. I'm a consultant.
Yeah, because your day-to-day job, you're like...
You're a real person.
You're a fashion blogger, you write about fashion.
I'm a real person. I'm a normal person. I don't know what normal means, but you know what I mean. I'm a fashion editor, exactly. Yeah. And so I was in
this meeting?
I was in a meeting with a fashion client, and I had this... It often, before the spirit voice comes in, I often get it's like pins and needles all over my head. And I said... this voice came in and said, tell her not to sell her house. And I thought, you can jog on. I'm absolutely not going to say that. And after about 3 or 4 minutes of being really persistent, eventually, out of my mouth poured, you're going to live by water and I can draw the vision for you. And she had drawn this exact picture within therapy when her partner, died the year before.
That's extraordinary. But
that was physical evidence to me.
OK, so you can't put this down to just intuition?
Could it be down to sort of stress, to kind of, you know, imagining things a little bit if you're a bit anxious and you just feel like you're hypersensitive to the world around you a little bit?
I am hypersensitive to the world around me, and I think this is the explanation. I haven't looked for the explanation, but to turn around to somebody, and there have been many, many more instances, and I don't really want to talk about them because it's very personal to those people. But how you can turn around to somebody, say, draw something, and they've drawn the exact picture in therapy, and they have that picture at home.
Your client must have been freaked out.
She was... Well, I cried, she cried. I mean, it was very, very emotional. Then I went home to my science husband.
Yeah, so tell us your science husband. What's his actual
He's just finished his
title?
doctorate, and he's got a doctorate in counselling psychology.
OK. So what does he make of it?
He is very, very understanding and very supportive.
Has anything happened for him? Have you ever heard anything that's a message for him that has convinced him?
The reason we met is because of the spirit telling me to go to meet him. I was on Guardian Soulmates. I was 35. Couldn't find a boyfriend.
Don't do that face at 35. I'd love to be 30. What do you mean? Oh, I was 35.
I was single.
Yeah.
I was single. And I thought, oh, Guardian Soulmates. Went on Guardian Soulmates, saw him, cancelled the date 4 times. And eventually the spirit voice came in and said, go, shouted at me. And it was love at first sight.
Gosh.